So what's the one theme that keeps repeating itself here on Costa Rica Story and in life in general? Change. That's right, you guessed it. That's what we're going to talk about on this episode of Costa Rica Story. Hey there, and welcome to Costa Rica Story. And if this is your first time here, my name is Ed. I make videos about Costa Rica and my life here in Costa Rica. And if you're a regular here, part of the Good Vibe tribe, my name still is Ed, and you know what I do. One of the things I do is the Uvita Day Adventure. If you'd like to come and experience the Uvita Day Adventure, just go to uvitaday.com. I can also help you book tours here in Uvita, where we have coffee tours, ATV tours. More information at uvitaday.com, and I also can help you with a rental car with a great price on rental cars without the hassles that you normally run into. So go to uvitaday.com for more information on that. But today we're going to talk about change, and in particular dirt roads being paved, because in this area, a lot of with the exception of the mountain areas, there's not too many dirt roads left. A lot of these roads that have been dirt for many years are slowly being paved, which, as I always mention, change is not inherently good or bad. So there's good things about roads being paved, and there's bad things about roads being paved. If it was up to me, these last few roads that have been paved, I would have said, let them stay dirt. I'm here in the bamboo forest, the beautiful bamboo forest here in Uvita, and for now, the bamboo forest itself is still a dirt road. And as somebody that rides a mountain bike, it's nice to have, some of these bouncy, bumpy roads that you can ride on. And like, for example, one of the ones that got paved down in Bahia, I used to love that because there's big potholes and cars would have to go slow, and I'd be passing cars down through there now. But now it's paved all the way down through there, and it's a lot different. I mean, is it better? Is it worse? For me, if I was in charge, I would have said, let's leave that one dirt. Let's leave the rest of them dirt. Because when you pave a road, it's a lot better on your car. It's a lot better for the local businesses there, but it also brings more people in driving fast, more people being careless, more people in general. When it's a dirt road and it's a little bumpy, you kind of have to make an investment in yourself. Yes, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go on this crazy bumpy road full of potholes. That being said, it's a lot smoother of a ride now, going from the bamboo forest here down into town. So we're going to take that ride on the bike, and it's not the same as it used to be. I tell you what, coming down that hill, especially if you're coming down from the Uvita waterfall, that road still is dirt. But coming down from the Uvita waterfall, and there's boulders. Even in this road here, there'd be some pretty big boulders that you'd have to navigate, which was cool. I like that. But we don't have that anymore. The big boulders have been paved over. So for the good or the bad, that's how that is. You just have to learn to accept the change, and look at the positive aspects of the change. I mean, life is full of change. We've got it in our life every day. I know we just talked about it with Michael Allen passing away. It's a huge change in for a lot of people that watch Costa Rica YouTube videos. It's like he was a mainstay. He was always there. He was like the volcano. He was always there. He was like the La Fortuna. He was a constant presence. But things change, and we just have to deal with that. So let's take a little ride and see a little of the change in the road here on Costa Rica Story. Here's how the road was back in 2022. Nice haircut, Ed. So I'm holding the GoPro in my hand here. Take a look at the road. Pretty bumpy. But it's always fun coming out here to the bamboo forest, navigating this very rocky road. And you'll see coming up here, there was that big boulder I was talking about before. There she is, the monster. So right now I'm going downhill, and you can pick up some pretty good speed here, so you have to make sure you can access both of your brakes. So I'm holding the camera with one hand. Getting a little tricky. And on the left, you see a beautiful blue morpho butterfly. Kind of a landmark in the area. So excuse me for a moment as I go vertical, as I'm trying to control the brakes here. We're going downhill on a bumpy road. I need both hands. So you feel every bump on this road, that's for sure. So this footage was actually shot on a different day, and I have the GoPro attached to a chest harness, so it's a little smoother. And also on this day it's a little dustier, as you can see. But it was a fun ride on that old road. But now, same road, different time, a lot different. So as you can see, a little bit smoother here. Not quite as many rocks. I mean, the rocks still exist, but they're covered in pavement. Smooth sailing all the way. Well, except for this hardware store truck moving in, making a delivery. So that's a common theme in this area. There's a lot of construction and building going on, so you see a lot of hardware store trucks. So navigate our way through this. We're back on the smooth road again. So remember that big old boulder that used to be there? Nowhere to be found. So yeah, you can pick up some serious speed going down this hill. And you have to be careful to the right because that's when the traffic comes down from the Uvita waterfall. So yeah, it's a completely different scene now. No more dirt road. Well, since we're on the bike in the neighborhood, let's take a cruise down Calle Uvita, my street. And I talk about this street a lot because it's a place that I've come to know and come to love. I love my neighborhood. But there's been a lot of changes here. We see the old familiar Whaletail Brewery to the right, Cafe Vivo. But there's a lot of new places coming in. We'll have to do a whole separate video on this. I think maybe I need to do a once a month, what's new in Uvita. On the right there was a whole lot that all the trees got cut down right there. Kind of sad, but that's the change. And I have to say the traffic has picked up in the 4 short years that I've lived here. But I have a photo of this very area right here when there was no road here. It was only, I think this, I'm not sure how long ago that was. It wasn't long ago. So to drive a bicycle in downtown Uvita, you have to be a little bit like a Manhattan messenger, bike messenger. Head on a swivel at all times. Sky's looking a little dark up there. Supermercado Pacifico. Okay, this gets a little tricky here. So crossing Route 34 can be a real challenge. Hey, wait a minute, I know that dude. That's Danier from Cafe Don Emilio, the official coffee of Costa Rica Story. So this road was recently paved, but they haven't put the lines down yet. So it's a little bit more tricky. I'll tell you what, if a truck pulls out in front of me, I'm going to give them the right of way. So if you come to Uvita, you'll notice Route 34 is pretty smooth all the way through. A recent paving job. As we cross over the Rio Uvita. And since we're in the neighborhood, let's go down and check out the road to the whale tail. This is a road before it was paved. Always one of my favorite routes. Actually, the dirt road in this is pretty good because it's just before they were putting the pavement down. But prior to that, there was a lot of huecos, a lot of potholes in this road. But there's a lot of development in this area as well. They cut down some really beautiful trees recently. It's a shame, and they're putting a bunch of houses in that section. And this is very close to the national park. But it's a really nice project. They're in the middle of right here. As you can see, they're putting the sidewalks onto the left. And they're building the road up, preparing it to be paved. And for the sake of business and for tourism, you really had to have that sidewalk there because it was just dangerous for people to be walking out in the road. So this road is always in various stages of condition, depending on the weather. In the rainy season, this would get some really humongous potholes. And they repair the road as best they can, but it's a constant battle when you have a dirt road. So that's why this paving project came about. So this is what this road looked like back in October of 2022 during the rainy season. Kind of tricky to navigate. You have to wonder, could there be crocodiles in these puddles? So with the amount of rain we get here, it is a constant battle to keep up these dirt roads. And this road takes you down to the entrance to the whale tail. So let's get back to 2025. A lot of construction going on all the way down. Sidewalks being poured. And those stars up above, they're new. Again, let's use our bike messenger skills and get ourselves through this traffic. So this work was all being done a couple of months ago. To help ensure a safe passage for tourists coming down to the biggest attraction in town, the entrance to the whale tail, which you see right up ahead. The entrada to the whale tail. Grab yourself a nice cold pipa. So we're going to take it this time. We're going to go all the way from the bridge over the Rio Uvita. We're going to drive it all the way down to the entrance to the whale tail. Let's see if we can notice any changes. This hill is always fun. Always pick up some speed here. But one thing to remember, there's a Muerto up ahead. And in case you don't know what a Muerto is, that's Costa Rican for speed bump. Iguana Verde, the hardware store to the left. So we see we've got some pavement here. Some pretty smooth sailing. Even have a line painted in the center. Ooh, I guess that was another Muerto. So this road will take you right down to the entrance to the whale tail. As you'll soon see. And to the right is the Rio Uvita. There's actually a road that goes right down there, crosses the river. So as you can see, it's a completely different vibe with the pavement than the when it was a dirt road. And if you look carefully, you might be able to see a cow. That's vaca in Spanish. And you know what comes out of a cow? That's right, caca de vaca. Sorry, couldn't resist that. Most of the work is done, but they're still working on the sidewalk. So if you're coming to Uvita in 2025 and beyond, it's a much different experience without that dirt road. To some, it's complete improvement. To others, maybe we've lost something. Either way, it's here. Let's enjoy this nice smooth drive. Now, if we can just get the hotels and restaurant to tell their clients not to park on the road, we'll be all set. And sadly, there's going to be condos going up on the right, I believe. Another part of the change here in Uvita and Bahia. So that's a pretty deep drainage ditch to the right. And we need deep drainage ditches here. And to the right you see Dolphin Tours and Pizzeria de los Dolphins. Or on foot, or by car, even a bicycle. Smooth sailing. Copos, Pipa Fria, they've got them.
I would love this.
So are you ready? Are you ready to come to Uvita and experience the Uvita Day Adventure? I really love showing people my world, living vicariously through their adventures here. We can hit a lot of the popular attractions, so you never really know who's going to drop in on the Uvita Day Adventure. And it's definitely a good way to get in touch with your inner child. And if you want, we can even get off the beaten path. A coffee tour with mi amigo Dainair. Maybe we'll find some wildlife to photograph. Visit to the farmer's market, making some new friends. And if you go on a coffee tour, I have to warn you, Dainair might put you to work. Or if you're more adventurous, hike up a mountain trail to a waterfall. A refreshing swim in a beautiful swimming hole. But there's a lot to see, and there's a lot to do. Make new friends, see some cool things, make some memories. The Uvita Day Adventure. Go to uvitaday.com for more information. Hopping into a beautiful swimming hole. Another thing we can do on the Uvita Day Adventure.
Hey guys, my name's Brett Bond. I'm from Utah, and I booked the Uvita Day Adventure with Ed. And I have to say I was a bit hesitant to book it in the beginning because I thought, I could find stuff on my own. But now that we're out here and I'm actually chatting with Ed, I have to say the amount of information he's given me and just like all the different details, the fun facts, I'm super glad I booked it. So yeah, if you're visiting Costa Rica, book the adventure with Ed.
But that's all I've got for this edition of Costa Rica Story. Make sure you like if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, but most importantly, share this video and this channel with a friend. Hasta luego.